Hi, welcome. Here we are talking about the future, future forms in English. And the goal here is that by the end of this session, you can label the future forms using their conventional names and in writing, contrast the meaning of different future forms in similar contexts. Okay, so let's move forward. Future tenses. Well, let's start with when do we use will, that is the future simple, and when do we use going to for future descriptions. Let's look at some examples in context and see what we can deduce, see what we can figure out. Okay, I'm going to walk you through this. Here we have sentence A. 1A. Why are you turning on the TV? B. I'm going to watch the news. Why is it going to? Because it's something they intended and they planned out ahead of time. Let's keep going. 2. Oh, I've just realized I haven't got any money. You don't? Well, don't worry. I'll lend you some. I will. Okay. 3, I've got a headache. You do? Wait a second and I'll get an aspirin for you. As I walk you through these, think about the difference in context. I'm going to watch the news. I'll lend you some. I'll get an aspirin for you. 4, why are you filling that bucket with water? I'm going to wash the car. 5, I've decided to repaint this room. Oh, have you? What color are you going to paint it? A few more. 1, where are you going? Are you going shopping? Yeah, I'm going to buy something for dinner. 2, I don't know how to use this camera. Oh, it's easy. I'll show you. 3, what would you like to eat? I'll have a sandwich, please. 4, did you post that letter for me? Oh, I'm sorry. I completely forgot. I'll do it now. 5, the ceiling in this room doesn't look very safe, does it? No, it looks as if it's going to fall down. 6, has George decided what to do when he leaves school? Yeah, everything's planned. He's going on holiday for a few weeks. Then he'll be doing a computer program course, or he's going to do a computer program course. What do we notice here? What is the pattern? What rule can you use to explain the difference between the use of future simple, will plus infinitive, and going to, or in fact, ing? We often use present continuous for the future. I'm flying to Spain tomorrow, right? That's present continuous, am flying. But for the future? Well, here's the pattern. It all comes down to intention and planning. Okay, conversation 1. Sue and Helen are talking. Sue says, hey, let's have a party. Here, it's a spontaneous idea, spontan. She just came up with it. Helen responds with, yeah, that's a great idea. We'll invite lots of people. Here, it's spontaneous. She uses the future simple, will invite. Let's look at conversation 2. Helen is now talking to Dave. It's later that same day. Here, she's talking about something pre-planned. Helen says, hey, Dave, Sue and I have decided to have a party. We're going to invite lots of people. Do you see the difference? It comes down to van tevoren afgesproken of gepland of spontaan. Yeah, it's about intention and planning. So here are some nice visuals. The future simple, will plus infinitive, you see that it starts from now into the future. The decision is at the moment. Whereas with the going to future, and actually also present continuous for future, ing, here the decision was before now, right? So it was, like in conversation 2, it was pre-planned. Okay, let's try a few more. More verb tenses for the future. Of course we have more, it's English. future perfect versus future continuous. Now, if you have already watched my videos on tense and aspect, past and present, you'll have a better understanding of the perfect and the continuous aspect. So here we see a group of people are standing in a queue. They're standing in line to get into the cinema. Half an hour from now, the cinema will be full. Everybody will be watching the film. 3 hours from now, the cinema will be empty. The film will have finished. Everybody will have gone home. So what you see here is, the difference is, and given what we have learned in the past weeks about aspect, the difference between perfect and continuous tenses, what is the rule? Well, if we explain it, here, when it's will be watching, it's future continuous, or otherwise known as future progressive. It has an ing. It's about something happening at a moment in the future over a period of time. It's like present continuous, but for the future. Wow, mind blown. English is cool. Whereas with the perfect, it's about something finished at a point in time in the future. And that's why we see the Fultoid Dealboard. Finished, gone. It's all about result. That's the perfect aspect. And like action or process. And that's the continuous progressive. Let's look at some further practice here. Okay, we see, here's Colin. Let's tick sentences which are true. And in each group of sentences, at least one is true. Okay, context. We know that Colin goes to work every day. He leaves home at 8 o'clock and arrives at work at about 8:45. He starts work immediately and continues until about 12:30 when he has lunch, which takes about half an hour. He starts work again at 1:15 and he goes home at exactly 4:30. Every day, poor Colin, he follows the same routine. Tomorrow will be no exception. So what can we say about Colin? Well, his life is kind of predictable and boring, but we also can say at 7:45 a.m., he will be at home and he will be having breakfast. So we could use future simple to make like a prediction about the future. You might be thinking, wait, shouldn't we use going to because it's pre-planned? Well, here it's more like it's a prediction because it usually happens every day. He will be at home and he will be in the middle of having breakfast. He'll be having breakfast. At 8:15, well, where will he be? We could say he will have left the house. That has already happened because he leaves the house at 8, so he will have left. And you hear how I put that word in there? Already. He will already have left the house because it's a perfect tense. So it's about a finished action. Here it's in the future. Yeah, he'll have left the house. 3, at 9:15, well, we know he starts work at about 8:45. So he'll be in the middle of working, A. And C, he will have started work already. What about 12:45? We know he starts lunch around 12:30. So we know that B, he will be having lunch at 12:45. And he will also already have started his lunch. Answer D. At 4 o'clock, when does he head home? He goes home at 4:30. So at 4 o'clock, answer C, he will still be working. He'll be in the middle of it. And answer D, he won't have finished work yet. And last, at 4:45, okay, he left the office. He usually leaves at 4:30. Then at 4:45, we could say he will have left work already. And that's really the only answer there. Okay, again, it's about result or action in the future. Here, I'd like you to pause me and try this yourself. Write down your answers because that will help you process this information. Then click resume and I shall give you the answers and walk you through it. Okay. 1. Don't phone me between 7 and 8. We'll be having dinner then. We'll be having. Phone me after 8 o'clock. We will have finished dinner by then. 3. Tomorrow afternoon, we're going to play tennis from 3 o'clock until about 4:30. So at 4 o'clock, we'll be playing tennis. We will be playing. Future, perfect, continuous. Oh, no, sorry. Future continuous. We will be playing. We will be playing. 4. Can we meet tomorrow? Yeah, but not in the afternoon. I will be working, or I will be at work. 5. Person B has to go to a meeting which begins at 10 o'clock and it will last about an hour. Person A asks, hey, will you be free at 11:30? Person B says, yeah. The meeting will have ended by then. 6. Ben is on holiday and he's spending his money very quickly. If he continues like this, he will have spent all his money before the end of his holiday. 7. Do you think you'll still be doing the same job in 10 years' time? Will be doing. 8. Lisa is from New Zealand. She's traveling around Europe at the moment, and so far, she has traveled about 1,000 miles. By the end of this trip, she will have traveled more than 3,000 miles. Okay. Number 9, if you need to contact me, future continuous, I will be staying at the Lion Hotel until Friday. And 10, well, this is future simple, or you could use future continuous. Will you be seeing Laura tomorrow? Future continuous. Or will you see Laura tomorrow? Future simple. Yeah, probably. Why? I borrowed this CD from her. Can you give it back? Again, it comes down to if you're in the middle of an action, you use ing, and this is for the future. If it's finished and done in the future, it's future perfect. Now, here is where we are contrasting different tenses. So, of course, I'm going to ask you to try this yourself to get feedback. Write a summary. You're aiming for approximately 50, maybe 75 words, in which you explain the difference between the following. Situation 1, speaker A says, hey, Gary phoned while you were out. Speaker B, oh, he did? Oh, thanks. I'll call him back. What you want to explain is what is the form? That is, what tense is this? What is the rule? Like, how do we use this? And the use in context is more describe the situation more in detail. Situation 2, speaker A says, Gary phoned while you were out. Speaker B says, oh, I know, I heard, thanks. I'm going to call him back. What's the difference? Write your answer using the form, rule, and use in context format. One more. Situation 1, speaker A, I just got into med school. B, well, that's amazing. Congrats. How long is the study program? Speaker A says, yeah, it's a 4-year program, so in about 3 years' time, I'll still be studying. And situation 2, speaker A, I just got into med school. Speaker B, that's amazing. Congrats. How long is the program? Speaker A says, it's 4 years, so in 5 years, I'll have finished with my studies. Alrighty, I do hope this helps, and I hope that now you can label future forms and contrast the meaning of different future forms in similar contexts. Thank you for watching.